Good afternoon.
Got it. Thank you.
I'm Hidalgo County Judge Richard F. Cortez. I am the chairman of Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1. Today's board meeting is being conducted within the parameters of Governor Abbott's suspension of certain open meeting law requirements to the extent necessary to allow for telephonic and video conference meetings in response to this COVID-19 matter. Notice of this meeting has been posted online for at least 72 hours. The board is meeting by the use of Zoom software and telephone transmission, which allows for two-way communication for members of the public during the public comments. This meeting is being broadcast live online. A recording of the meeting is being made and will be made available to the public at a later date. The time now is 1:31. I call the meeting to order and we'll begin with a roll call to establish quorum.
Everardo Villarreal, Precinct 3.
Ellie Torres, Precinct 4.
Richard Cortez, County Judge. That constitutes a quorum of 3. Mr. Sassine, would you please lead us in prayer?
Yes, sir, Judge, Commissioners, everyone, good afternoon. Thank you. Let us pray. Father God, we seek your clarity, your peace over all that's occurring in our country today, Lord. We know you're with us and for us as we gather to seek your counsel. We continue to pray for the judge and board commissioners that you've appointed to lead this great county of ours. We pray for our mayors, school board members, city councils, police chiefs, district attorneys, sheriffs, judges, and all who serve our local communities. Strengthen them with your wisdom and grace for the heavy burdens they carry. May they manage their teams and projects with love. Keep their hearts pure and their eyes turned toward your face as they work in the best interest of the people they're called to serve. We continue to pray for the first responders and their families. We lift them up to you, Father God. We ask for your grace, love, and wisdom be granted to the doctors and nurses dealing with the ill. We ask for your hand of peace and comfort over them and their families. We lift up to you all those that are battling illnesses. We ask for your healing hand over them. Provide their families with the peace that you can only bring through your son, Jesus. And we continue to praise you, Father God, for the healing that's come through you. We pray for strength of all that have lost someone. Father God, may your strength carry them through all and your grace, love, and mercy be over them. Father God, we know the difference between good and evil is not lost with you. You know how we struggle to live goodness in this world that is so often saturated with evil. You assure us through your word that you see the good that is done and recompense for it. Help us to strive to live each day knowing that we are seen by you, and help us to consistently try to sow goodness in our lives. Scripture reminds us that the more we seek you, the more we will find you. May we seek you in everything we do, Father God. May we work as we're working for you. Lead our surrendered heart to the path of your peace today, and as in your son Jesus' name we ask all this. Amen.
Amen. Did we have anybody sign up for open forum?
Mr. Magnus.
I'm sorry.
There is no one signed up.
No, it's okay.
Okay, we have next the approval of the consent agenda.
Yes, sir. We just have approval registered check, discharge permits, and general operations items that have been vetted through my staff, and everything's in order. We recommend approval.
Motion to approve?
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 5A.
Thank you. Item 5A1, presentation of Burt McCumber and Longoria LLP for the Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1, 2020 financial audit and comprehensive annual financial report. We do have Mr. Longoria here to make the presentation on behalf of the Drainage District, sir.
Thank you, Raul. Good afternoon, Judge. Good afternoon, Commissioners. For the record, again, my name is Ricky Longoria. I'm a partner with Burt McCumber and Longoria. I'm not alone here today, and then I have Luis Lopez here with me as well. He was the audit manager assigned to the engagement in completing the audit. And actually today, I'm going to ask him to go over the actual audit report itself. Before he does that, though, last year we presented our financial statement via video conference, and as I said then, I said, hey, most audit reports, unfortunately, are not that exciting to hear, and again, they don't get any better via video conference. And as much as we've tried to make the audit presentation via video conference better, just note that we are trying our best to try to make our presentations as interesting as we possibly can. Before Mr. Lopez makes a presentation, I just do want to make one comment. I think it's one comment that y'all should continue to be proud of. Last year's audit report did achieve for the, and I think it's 5 consecutive years already, I believe already, if not more, did earn the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. Certainly this particular report, we hope and certainly expect that it will continue to earn that same award. Awards are not giving, just without reason. Certainly it's a result of the hard work, I think, of you all's team here at the district in preparing a financial statement that is fairly presented and is transparent in accordance with the standards set forth by the Government Finance Officers Association. So certainly thank you all for allowing us to serve you all, and congratulations on this particular award, and I'll turn it over to Mr. Lopez. Thank you.
Thank you, Ricky. Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. I don't know what you have in front of you.
They have the report, letter, everything.
Okay, if you have everything. I'm going to start off with the letter dated July 26th that addressed to the Board of Directors. That starts off, we have audited the financial statements. What this is what we call the governance letter. Accounting standards require us to communicate certain matters to you, the governing body of the organization. And this letter addresses that. I don't intend to read the entire letter, just hit a few bullet points in this letter. The letter does confirm that we did audit the financial statements of Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1. The audit was conducted under generally accepted auditing standards and government auditing standards. The letter communicates that included in the report as Note A, it outlines a summary of significant accounting policies used in the preparation of the financial statements. There were no new significant accounting standards or policies that were implemented during the year 2020. As it relates to your financial statements and any other financial statements, there are certain balances included therein that require certain estimates to be made. In the case of the drainage district, the most significant estimates would be items like the allowance for uncollectible property taxes, which are based on historical collection rates. Other items such as the net pension liability or the OPEB, the other post-employment benefit plan liability. Those estimates are derived using a third party who does an actuarial valuation. And lastly, given the amount of capital assets that the organization has, the useful life of capital assets that are assigned that then affects depreciation expense taken every year. There were no significant difficulties in performing the audit. There were no disagreements with management. As far as we know, there wasn't any, management did not seek a second opinion on any matters. Again, going back to there being no disagreements with management in the course of the audit. All adjustments have been posted and are included in the financial statements. Other audit findings and issues. We did note one item that we included in this letter. This is one of several recommendations for improvement that we communicated to management. We did meet with them about 2-3 weeks ago and discuss these thoroughly. And they do have a plan, and we'll be working on addressing these items. As far as this letter, that's all I have as it relates to this letter. The other letter that is included in here are other recommendations, improvement points that, again, we communicated to management, and they will be working on addressing those issues. I will now jump into the report. I'll jump straight into the audit report letter, which is the main purpose of what we were engaged to do, to provide an opinion on the financial statements, whether they are fairly stated in all material respects. Our opinion is an unmodified opinion. Would probably heard unqualified or a clean opinion. And that basically just means that the financial statements are fairly stated in all material respects as presented in this audit report. On page 15, included in that letter, it also makes references to a second audit report, given that this is a governmental entity that is subject to government auditing standards. We did issue a report as required by government auditing standards, which is included towards the back of this bound copy of the report. The next thing I want to go over is on page 32. This is the statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balance for the governmental activities. Focusing in on the general fund, where we started, where we're at the end of the year. If you look at the revenues and expenditures for the year, they're basically spot on. Basically a break even, a $21,000 net profit, if you will. If you look a couple of lines down, the third line from the bottom, you do see a line called net change in fund balances. And so you might wonder, well, why did the fund balance decrease 1.9 million when you're telling me that we basically broke even? The reason for that is a transfer out. There was a 2 million transfer out to a debt service fund. That debt service fund is used to pay for the payments in accordance to an interlocal agreement that the Drainage District has with Hidalgo County on the acquisition of the J09 drain and the South Detention Basin. So that's what that is. Our financial, yes, sir. Our financial opinion does not opine on the financial health of the organization. Again, it's just the fair presentation on the financial statements. It's like some people say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. But to give some context as it relates to the Drainage District, one good metric that is commonly used to see how an entity is doing is how many days in fund balance in that rainy day fund you have should no more revenues come to the district. Generally, the rule of thumb is 60, 90 days is usually what we see. Here with the district, you're at about 300 days, 324 days in fund balance. So yeah, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but I'd say that's undisputed.
Yeah, and if I may add, I mean, what makes this entity unique is that you need monies, literally if it rains. And typically when it rains, you need heavy capital expenditures to move equipment, to go build something. And so having something more than just to cover operating expenses, I think is important as it relates to your operations. And so one, I wouldn't necessarily jump to a conclusion that we got 300 days and therefore we need more than what we need, just given the amount of capital you need to build up for that one day when you really need to really expand, to move equipment, to move, whatever the case may be, given a significant rain event that the system may not be able to handle. So just to add context to that, please.
Yeah, and we have seen some major rain events over the past 4 or 5 years, so that is important to have that rainy day fund, if you will. Just very briefly, I'll just the next column over is the Capital Projects Fund, the 2019 Bond Series Capital Projects Fund. All I want to emphasize here is to someone not familiar with accounting, governmental accounting, you might look at that excess or deficiency of revenues under expenditures if there's a 13 million where your expenses were more than your revenues, not for someone that doesn't have the accounting knowledge and governmental accounting, that might kind of raise a red flag and say, whoa, hey, what happened here? The way this fund works is it tracks the resources for capital projects allocated from the 2019 bond series. And so the first year that you acquire the bond, you would see those resources coming into this fund. And as you're working on projects, you're not going to see that revenue. You're mainly just going to see expenditures being made to work on and complete those projects. And so that's why you do have a negative number there. It is perfectly common and normal to have that. If you do want to know, okay, well, how much of the resources that we had on the 2019 bond series for the capital projects, if you look at the fund balance at the very bottom on that fund, the 65.9 million is basically the unspent bond proceeds, if you will, on that bond that remained. Other than that, I think that's pretty much the big picture that I wanted to cover. I do encourage you all to read through the notes of the financial statements. They do have some pretty good information. And if I myself like to look at trends, where we were, where we're at, and kind of think about where an organization might be going. If you look over in the statistical section, there are some schedules that do present a 10-year trend analysis for fund balances, net position, tax rates, things of that nature. So that's always interesting to look at. That's basically all I have. If anyone has any questions, we'd be happy to answer those at this time.
The commissioners have any questions? I have a couple. We're in total compliance with all the bond issue requirements.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you find any internal control issues?
Yes, sir. We apart from the two matters that we noted in that letter, management letter comments that we don't feel rise to the level that need to be included in the report, there is one finding reported in the government auditing standards letter, which is included on page 168. One of the things that we found when we started noticing when we were looking at your construction in progress is we noticed some accounts didn't have activity during the year. So we raised the question, are these still projects ongoing, or why is there no activity? And so an analysis was made by management, and we did find some of those projects had already been completed during the year or in a prior year. And so the recommendation here is to perform that analysis regularly, maybe quarterly, no less than yearly for sure, just to make sure that any projects that are completed are reclassified from construction in progress down to the infrastructure on classification on the financial statement.
Going back to page 32, 14 million. Is that all the work we did on all these projects for this year? Is that all we expended?
As it relates to the 2019 bond series, yes, sir.
I thought we were spending it quicker than that. The last thing I have is, change orders are always an issue. It kind of tells you how the engineering, how we're bidding out projects or whatever. Did you find any issues with any excess change orders occurring, or did you find everything satisfactory in that area?
No, sir, we didn't find any issues in that area. Of course, we didn't look at all the, we do test on a test basis. And so in what we looked at, we didn't find any issues with it.
Thank you, Luis. I don't have any other questions. I have a motion to accept the audit report.
Anything else, Ricky?
Is that item number 2?
Or we'll go into number 2, yeah.
Any other comments? If not, Judge, the item 2 would be requesting approval of the documentation of one financial audit and compensation, financial audit and comprehensive
This report is almost 200 pages, so
Mr.
it's a
Sassin.
technical matter. It's kind of hard to,
Mr.
to-
Sassin?
The weeds, but,
It's
but if Judge or you or one of the members of
Mr.
the
Longoria.
board would like to meet with us separately and have separate questions, always.
Mr. Sassin?
Yes.
Could you, this is Valde, could you repeat that again? We lost the signal there for a second. We want to make sure that we captured everything on the record. Could you repeat that again, please?
Requesting approval of the Dow County District Number 1 financial audit and the comprehensive annual financial report for the year ended December 31st, 2020.
So moved. Second.
You have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much, Ricky Luis and the rest of the team.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
5B,
Don't appreciate it. Item 5B, Judge. One, submission of the 2021 new revenue and voter approval rate for Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1. So I have Ms. Nora Briones here to go over that, Judge. Oh, and Paul Villarreal is also going to be making the presentation for us on this, Judge. Is he on?
I think he's there.
Oh, there he is.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So you can hear me. Judge, Commissioners, good to be here. I'm going to have my tax manager, Julio Espinosa, just make the presentation, so I'll be right here, and go ahead, Julio.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Item 5B, the presentation of the submission of the 2021 new revenue rate and voter approval rate for Hidalgo County Drainage District Number 1, discussion of the planning calendar. Number 3, discussion of the 2021 tax rates. And item number 4, record vote on the proposed 2021 tax rate and schedule public hearing if proposed tax rate exceeds the lower of the new revenue rate or voter approval rate. And the packets that I just passed out, the first page is the planning calendar. Those are just tentative dates. The second page is the summary of all the tax rates. And page 3 forward, that's the actual calculations, as those are prescribed forms by the state controller. And we do take into account, 2020 taxable values, 2021 taxable values, court orders, improvements, et cetera. And we look at the summary, presentation of the rates. The second to the last line there, last year's tax rate for 2020, the district had a tax rate of 0.1026. This year calculations, the no new revenue tax rate, that is what used to be called the effective tax rate. That's the tax rate that will generate the same amount of tax levy for this year. That came out to 0.0961. And the voter approval rate, that used to be called the rollback rate, that is the max, the highest rate that the district may adopt without having a rollback election. And that tax rate is 0.1264. So what we need today is just a vote on a proposed tax rate, take a record vote, and if the rate exceeds the voter approval rate, we need to schedule the public hearing before the rate is adopted. Mr. Cecine?
Raul, I have a question.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, sir. Yeah, and my CFO, we are recommending that we move with the voter-approved tax rate of 0.1264.
Can they hear us? Can you hear me, Raul?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so at our last meeting, we discussed with our financial advisors on a plan to be able to raise taxes to, or, within that voter-approved rate of the 3 cents that we had done with the 2018 bond referendum. And we were all kind of in agreement that we would try to keep that tax rate obviously below that. But because of the different programs that we took advantage of, we were only going to be required to raise taxes by just over a penny. We talked about setting the tax rate at about 2 pennies to give us the ability to issue new bonds in a few years after we made some debt reductions from this change in tax rate. Is that correct?
That is correct. So this voter-approved tax rate, sir, would give us a 2021 debt rate for, the interest-sinking fund of an increase of 2.8 cents. So we're under the 3 cents. It would allow us to, I guess, assertively pay down the 3 years on our debt. And in 3 years, we will be in a position to present to the voters again a bonded referendum election with zero tax impact based on the analysis that was done by our financial consultant and everything. So yes, sir, that we followed the presentation that was made to the board and the direction that the board gave to myself and financial advisor, sir.
So the tax that you're requesting today, or that you have presented today, includes those 2 pennies?
That is 2.87 pennies, yes, sir, under the 3 pennies that we had, that the board committed to the voters that would not exceed. So when this is done, we sell all the bonds, the impact would be 2.8 cents, sir. So yeah, we're fulfilling, or the board is fulfilling the commitment that was made to keep it under 3 cents and put us in a position in 3 years to go out for another bond referendum and to the tune of probably 175, 180, maybe 200. We don't know, obviously, with the numbers, but the estimate, that would be the case with zero impact to the taxpayers.
Okay.
So make your recommendation again, so I can make a motion to approve.
So we would recommend the voter approved rate of 0.1264.
So move.
Second.
I want to further discuss that, okay? That's going to give you how much more money this year than last year?
Sure.
For the general fund or for the debt service, or combined?
Well, I was going to let you split between the two. How much of this increase is going to go to debt service? Because if you do the math, 53, what do I subtract 53 from? The 40 or the 558 or the 4916? What do I subtract it from as the new money for this coming year?
Judge, the calculation on the debt service takes into account the rate, the debt service rate from 2018, and it subtracts the debt service rate that we're proposing. That difference is below the 3 cents that the voters agreed on or that we told the voters when they passed the bond referendum. So the increase, there is a significant increase in the tax rate, but the majority of it is going to the debt service for the payment of bonds.
That's what I wanted to know, okay? So the majority
Last
of.
year we had close to 19 million in debt service for payments of principal and interest. This year it increased to close to 31 million.
Okay, so the majority of this increase is going to go to debt service, not
Yes.
general fund operation.
Yes.
That's correct.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. Anybody have any other questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Did you say?
Judge,
Do you need a
Just
record
be-
vote?
Record vote.
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Let the record show it was unanimous by each member.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
we'll be here for the count.
You need a pen? Okay. So we'll move to item C. Requesting approval to reimburse Texas Division of Emergency Management $4,316.86 for any events advanced from
Hold on,
FEMA
hold on,
Public
Raul.
Assistance Project 00595.
Mr. Sassoon?
Hold on, Raul. Yes.
Yes, one item we forgot is to schedule the public hearing since we're going above the no new revenue rate.
Which date is that?
Now, on your calendar, what day is
Okay,
it?
I apologize, yes. Discussion of the 2021 planning calendar to schedule the public hearing. Judge?
Is that
You
the
recommend-
September 12th?
No, September 28th would be the same day that we're planning to adopt the tax rate. Just has to be an item before the adoption,
So we're approving the calendar, or we're approving the 28th?
the public hearing,
So
For the
public
20th.
hearing
For
on
the-
September 28th.
September 28th.
Make a motion to approve.
Second. For
Okay.
sure, you're 100%, it's for September 28th.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And on that same day, you're also gonna vote on the tax rate.
We're gonna vote on the tax rate. Okay. Usually nobody shows up anyway, right?
Normally, but
Normally. This year may be different.
we have the dates. Thank you.
So you'll make a motion. We have a motion and a second for September the 28th. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Okay. 5C, requesting approval to reimburse Texas Division of Emergency Management $4,316.86 for rain event advance from FEMA Public Assistance Project 00595 related to Texas Severe Storms Fund received on September 12, 2017. Reconciliation showed that based on all the documentation, they overpaid us by the amount, so we recommend approval.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item D, requesting approval to purchase one 12-inch diaphragm DPC 300 diesel pump, one GL10 trailer, three 6-inch dry prime CD 150S diesel pumps and hoses from Xylem Dewatering Solutions, Inc. to the Dow County District 1 membership participation with HEAC by award contract number CM02-21, the total amount of $276,702.04, subject to House Bill 1295 compliance.
Motion to approve?
Second?
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item E, requesting authority to advertise and approve a competitive seal proposal packet requiring specification and plan developed by project engineer Omar Cano from my office for Dow County Drainage District Number 1, San Carlos, 83rd and 87th Street Drainage Improvement Outfall, CSP number 681-21044-0915, RFB, including the re-advertising of the project in event no response are received and or rejected, and the project is still required.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
6A1, requesting approval of closing documents parcel 24E17 as it relates to project 24, the 2018 Drainage Bond Program, mile 9M, North FM 1015 project, and authority for chairman of the board to execute documents.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 2, approval of payment and issuance of manual check to Valley Land Title Company for $22,738 upon closing of execution of closing documents.
Motion to approve?
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 6B, requesting approval of closing documents of parcel 15B-3 as it relates to project 15B of the 2018 Drainage Bond Program, JOA Drain Project, and authority for the chairman of the board to execute documents, subject to final legal review.
So move.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item C, requesting approval of budget amendment, the amount of $3,368,525.43 in the Capital Projects Fund 134, 2019 bond series for construction contract work with authorizations relating to 2018 Drainage Bond Program that have been approved by the board of directors.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Judge, is after 2, do we continue, or would you like to, do we need a recess or anything, Valde or Judge?
Judge, please recess Drainage District, open up Commissioners Court, then recess Commissioners Court, and we can come back to Drainage District.
Motion to
Okay,
recess.
may I have a motion to recess so we can open the other meeting?
Second.
Have a motion second to recess. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Well, good afternoon again. I'm Hidalgo County Judge Richard F. Cortez. Today's Commissioners Court meeting is being conducted within the parameters of Governor Abbott's suspension of certain open meeting law requirements to the extent necessary to allow for telephonic and video conference meetings in response to this COVID-19 matter. Notice of this meeting has been posted online for at least 72 hours. The court is meeting by the use of Zoom software and telephone transmission, which allows for two-way communication for members of the public during public comments. This meeting is being broadcast live online. A recording of this meeting is being made and will be made available to the public at a later date. The time now is 6 minutes after 2. I call the meeting to order. We'll begin with a roll call to establish quorum.
Good afternoon, David Fuentes, Precinct 1.
Eddie Cantu, Precinct 2.
Everardo Villarreal, Precinct 3.
Ellie Torres, Precinct 4.
Richard Cortez, County Judge. That constitutes a quorum. Today, as customary, we have U.S. Army veteran Dan Diaz will be reciting the Pledge of Allegiance for us. He was a combat medic in Desert Storm. He was with the 1st Infantry Division as a private first class and then went to Operation Desert Shield and Desert Storm in 1990 and was awarded the Combat Medal Badge. Mr. Diaz, would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
It's my honor. Everybody, please place your hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your service and for helping us with this pledge today. Also, we're very
Thank you.
honored to have our Justice Gina Benavides. She's the Place 5 Justice of the 13th Court of Appeals. She will lead us in today's prayer. Madam Justice?
Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. I'm assuming that everybody can hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I have everyone please bow their heads? Heavenly Father, we ask you that you be with us today and give us the wisdom and strength to make the best decisions for the residents of Hidalgo County. Give our leaders guidance and the knowledge to address the issues affecting our community. And as we continue through this pandemic, please continue watching over those most in need and in suffering from this illness. For those who have lost, please pray for their souls. And for those who have lost loved ones, please pray to ease the mourning of their souls. Please continue to protect our frontline workers, healthcare professionals, and all those who have sacrificed so much during this time. And as the school year begins across our county, a special prayer to go out to our students and educators. Thank you for your guidance and inspiration as we move forward. In your name we pray, amen.
Thank you, Madam Justice. You want us to go back to the
Yes, sir.
District Court?
We can recess Commissioners Court. and
May I
go
have a
back.
motion to recess our Commissioners Court meeting?
Motion made to recess.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. May I have a motion to reconvene our Drainage
So moved.
District meeting?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. You're back in business, Raul.
Okay, I believe we're on 6D now, right?
Yes.
6C was where last one, okay. 6D1, requesting approval of supplement agreement number 2 to the professional engineering service contracts, ACD 119-012-0326, Javier and Jose Engineering for the project, Precinct Road, Schubach Road, 2018 bond for project number 2, reflected revised D work schedule with an extended termination date of December 1st, 2021, subject to legal review. We're about to close out this project, so. we
Motion
need
to
the
approve.
extension for as-built.
Second.
You have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
D2, requested approval of supplemental agreement number 3 to work session number 1 of professional service contract 6119-012-0326, Javier and Jose Engineering, project 334 Road, Schubach Road, 2018 bond referendum project 2, to reflect the revised period of service to end December 31st, 2021, subject to legal review.
So moved.
Motion second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. 6E1, requesting approval of supplement number 1 to the professional engineering service contract, CGD 119-080-0324. B to Z Engineering LLC for the project South Ave Road Detention 2018 bond referendum project 33 to reflect the revised period D, Exhibit D, work schedule with extended termination date of March 31st, 2023, subject to legal review.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 2, requesting approval of supplemental number 1 to work session number 1 of the professional service engineering service contract, CCD 119-080-0324, B to Z Engineering LLC for the project South Ave Road Detention 2018 bond referendum project 33 to reflect the revised period of service to end March 31st, 2023, subject to legal review.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
F1, requesting approval of supplemental hearing number 4, the professional service contract, CCD 119-046-0701 with Guzman Munoz Engineering Survey, Inc. for the project Malone Drive and Pumelo Road, Project 18 in Ola Blanca and Mile 10 North, Project 28, 2018 bond referendum projects to reflect the revised exhibit D work schedule with an extended termination date of November 29, 2021, to finalize closeout documents and as-built, subject to legal review.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
F2, requesting approval of supplemental agreement number 4 for the work session number 1 for the professional engineering service contract, CGD 119-046-0701. Guzman Munoz Engineering Surveying, Inc. for the Malone Drive and Pumelo Road, Project 18 in Ola Blanca and Mile 10 North, Project 28, 2018 bond referendum projects to reflect the revised period of service to end on November 29, 2021, to finalize closeout documents and as-built, subject to final legal review.
Motion for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
G1, requesting approval supplement number 2 to professional engineering service contract, CCD 119-021-0326, Quintana Hill and Associates, Inc. for the project Mile 10 North and Baseline Road 2018 bond referendum project 20 to reflect the revised exhibit D work schedule and extended termination February 28, 2023, subject to legal review.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 2, requesting approval of supplement number 2 for work session number 1 of the professional service contract, CCD 119-021-0326, Quintana Hill and Associates, Inc. for the project Mile 10 North and Baseline Road 2018 bond referendum project 20 to reflect the revised period of service to end on February 28, 2023, subject to legal review.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item H1, approval application payment number 3 in the amount of $361,924.34. $361,924.34 from Morwell LLC pertaining to construction contract number ACD 120-021-0623, project engineer. This is Sally from my office.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 2, approval application payment number 4 in the amount of $77,148.32 from Morwell LLC pertaining to construction contract ACD 120-021-0623, project engineer. Ms. Sally from my office.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 3, approve and accept the certificate of substantial completion and certificate of construction completion, Morwell LLC, pertaining to construction contract ACD 120-021-0623, Las Milpas, Hidalgo Train.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 4, approval application payment number 4 in the amount of $142,851.58 from G&G Contractors pertaining to construction contract number ACD 120-0340811, project engineer, Mr. Quintanilla Henley Associates.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
We do have some real estate matters in a posted item for,
Okay, pursuant to Chapter D of the Chapter 551 of Texas Government Codes, we'll be retiring to closed session to discuss items listed in Code Section 551.072 and 551.074. I have a motion to do so.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, we're back from closed session. We're waiting on 2 commissioners. Ivan, do we have any action items from closed session?
Yes, Judge, with regard to the real estate acquisition, there should be a motion to authorize the administration to proceed as discussed in the closed meeting.
I have such a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I believe that concludes all of our agenda items, Valde.
Yes, sir.
Okay, may I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. We are adjourned. May I have a motion to reconvene our Commissioners Court meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I believe the next item is the approval of the consent agenda.
For Commissioners Court, yes, sir, but I'm going to ask to please take out from consent agenda item 14A, 1 and 2, and consent agenda item 2B.
Make a motion to approve the rest of the consent.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, for the record, for the County Auditor's Office, consent agenda item 2B, it will be as follows. Approval to release the county's audited comprehensive annual financial report, single audit, and management letter for the year ended December 31st, 2020, prior to acceptance by Commissioners Court.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Judge, Commissioners, for the record, Commissioner Fuentes will be abstaining from any discussion and/or action as it pertains to consent agenda item 14A, 1 and 2.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Let the record show Commissioner Fuentes abstained from voting on items 14A, 1 and 2. Next item will be open forum.
Mr. Magnus?
First up, we have Eduardo Estrada.
Sir. Mr. Magnus, how many participants do we have today?
3.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Stout?
Good afternoon. May I speak without
Sure.
mask on?
Sure.
Before I get into my concern, I just wanted to thank Commissioner Eli Torres for putting this out for us, the residents in the county. It's informative, and we don't all have the privilege of owning a computer. And so I thank you for this informational booklet that you send out. I'm here today because we're all in this together. Me, you, the owls, everybody. I'd like to address specifically budget item number 24. A1 is the CARES Act and American Rescue Plan funds as they relate to B24. Measures necessary to preserve public health and safety. I would like to specifically address the concern of the lack of street lighting in an unincorporated part of the county known as Lopezville, with about 5,000 citizens residing there. The area is south of Owasso Road, north of Minnesota Road, east of I Road, west of the San Juan Canal. There are 38 solar powered lights in that area. All of them are non-functional. None of those lights work. To me, that's not public safety. It doesn't help first responders, et cetera, et cetera. As I said, we're all in this together. I'd like to ask what and when are we going to do something about it? Maybe the federal funds could free up the necessary county funds to fix those specific streetlights. If I understand correctly, I saw some information online about the county budget, a recent county budget where the county budget came in $7 million under the projected budget. One was maybe last year or the year before. I just want to say, let's get it done, please, and thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Magnus, our next presenter.
Next up, we have Ms. Fern McClurdy.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Clarity?
Commissioners, we have now taken the first step in the county's election process, and the people have another opportunity to vote against the continuing increase in property values. For your information, the average land value increase was 60%, and the number of people protesting their values has increased significantly. And we have checked some of y'all's property, and I'll be darned, some of them went down. We will continue to show those who protest that it is the spending of this court that is causing the misery and strife in our community. Our prediction that the new courthouse that nobody wants is on a schedule of $450 million, and it does not matter if the construction is by the city or the county. It is the people who will pay. On another topic that shows the disconnect between this court and the people is the position on mask. The answer is to follow the law. Our governor made a law, y'all abided by that, close everything. But when the governor says no mask, what do y'all do? You fight him tooth and nail. The answer again is follow the law. Pushing the idea that masks will protect people while allowing and financial supporting the transportation of illegals across our border is unacceptable. I believe they've come out and said 40% of them are sick. Close the border to all but commercial traffic. All the bridges are owned and operated by the people of Hidalgo County. Remember McAllen, Farr, Donna? But it is obvious that this is more important to keep the federal dollars flowing than to protect the health and safety of our residents. We will remember at the voting polls. Why is the judge allowing department heads to sign on behalf of Hidalgo County? This seems like a delegation of responsibility. We're not sure. Today on the agenda, you have 6A, 6B, 6C, 6D, and I believe 6E that are for the DA's office. And I notice a lot of them are liaison and whatever. How about the hot check department? When people give us hot checks, how about having more people work in that department to help the public? Also, you have 12 to create 2 positions. Here we are again, hiring. We're going to have a jewelry auction. I can't wait. I've never heard of the county having a jewelry auction. And then we have 22F1. We're going out for the Community Service Agency to lease a building. I believe we've been in the building that they're in. We're leasing from Beck Realty, I believe, for over 30 years. So I was looking at the directions and the design and everything. Is that made a certain way to be sure we can stay where he's at? Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Magnus?
Yes, next up we have Annette Muniz.
Ms. Muniz, there is a 3-minute time limit, and I will advise when there is 1 minute.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Ivaldo. Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Yes, I am a county employee. I am the Chief Deputy for the County Clerk's Office, but I'm also a taxpayer. I have worked for the county for 21 years, and I have lived in Hidalgo for all of my life. I was going to say 20 years, but it's a little bit more than that. And I've lived here all of my life. And I chose to be here today. I am on annual leave, which can be verified in our office, because I wanted to be here on my own time. And because I wanted to speak on behalf of the employees, and I'm not speaking here for myself. Time after time, we've been hearing people coming up here and on the news and talking about just anything and everything, but sometimes people forget about the actual employees. And since the beginning of the pandemic, and I can speak for the county clerk's office, our county clerk designated our office as essential, meaning every one of our departments remained open throughout the whole pandemic, the first wave that we had. Some people may not understand what essential means or how important it is, but we record property records, we record subdivision plats, assume name certificates, and if we weren't doing all of that, the economy would not be moving forward. So that's one of the essential areas. We also accept and process court cases, misdemeanor cases, civil cases, and probate cases, where you can walk into the courthouse and not see a single person there. Cases are filed electronically and are being handled immediately as they come in. Our 2 busiest departments, the county clerk moved to another building, which we have the most foot traffic. When the construction of the courthouse, so that people wouldn't have a problem getting in there, we moved it a block north. And that's where we issue birth certificates, death certificates, and we issue marriage licenses. And because there was so much confusion about the departments and who was closing, the news was also issuing that marriage licenses were going to stop, which they did in some counties, The county clerk's office never stopped issuing marriage licenses. For some of us that have been married 41 years, we may think it's not essential. But for a person who wants to get married, of course it's important to them. So we remained open. During that period, March 1st, 2020 through March 31st, 2021, we recorded 115,000 documents, and we issued 4,915 marriage licenses. And these things are important because the people on the front line are the ones that are taking care of the public. Even though we don't have to wear a mask in the building that we are at north of the courthouse, all of the employees wear a mask as a courtesy to each other and out of respect for the public that we serve. 90% of the people that walk into that area are wearing a mask, even though that we don't ask them. And all we ask of the public is for a moment, stop and think of the employee that is there 8 hours a day wearing a mask and providing a service to them. And think about the fact that I constantly remind employees that there is so much stress right now to always be kind and considerate to our customers as they come in. But we would like that same respect for our employees when they come in, and to wear a mask for 10 or 15 minutes, and that's all it takes. And as for support of the governor, this is not political. Call any state office, and good luck finding someone working, because they're not. Because we have to call them, and they're not there, and yet he's trying to tell us how to run our offices. Again, thank you so very much, and thank you for all that y'all have done for all of the offices, for providing us with all the safety measures that we have needed. Thank you all, and God bless y'all.
Mr. Magnus?
That's it for speaker, sir.
Let's move on to item 11A so we can get our tax assessor collector back to work.
Sounds good, Judge. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and have you present it too. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Judge Commissioners, I'm gonna have Mr. Espinosa go ahead and do the presentation.
Good afternoon once again, Judge, Commissioners. Agenda item number 11, 1, submission of 2021 new revenue and voter approval tax rates. Number 2, discussion of 2021 planning calendar. 3, discussion of 2021 tax rates. And 4, record vote on proposal 2021 tax rate and schedule public hearing. So the packets that were just handed out, first page is our planning calendar. Our second page is the summary of the tax rates, and the third page forward is all the calculations. And this year's calculations, the no new revenue rate came out to be 0.5450. That's the rate that will generate the same levy as last year. And the voter approval rate, which used to be called the rollback rate, is 0.6235. This is the highest rate that the governing body may adopt without having a rollback election. Last year's rate was a 0.5750, and today we do need to vote on, take a record vote on a proposed tax rate and schedule a public hearing if needed. And I believe Mr. Cruz is going to assist with making that recommendation.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Yes, in regards to the proposed tax rate for fiscal year 22, we are recommending to remain at the same tax rate of 57.5 cents per 100 evaluation.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Well, I think we have to do the record.
Oh, that's right. All in favor?
Aye.
Start.
Aye.
Let the record show that it was unanimous vote in favor.
And because we're going above the non-new revenue tax rate, we do need to schedule a public hearing. And Mr. Cruz can correct me, I think we have also September 28th as a public hearing.
That's correct.
Do it on the same day?
Make a motion to approve the September 28th for a public hearing.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve that tax rate. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Or do we need to
That
go?
was for
To the hearing,
For the
the
hearing.
September 28th
Yeah.
hearing.
For the,
Ivaldo, do you
for
want to
the,
make a clarification?
for the
Yeah.
28th?
September 28th.
September 28th,
Josie wants
yes.
to make a clarification.
Right. The action that was just taken was to set the hearing for September 28th.
Correct.
Okay.
So moved.
Second. We have to
Okay,
vote.
we had a motion and a second
Right.
to establish a public hearing on the 28th. I believe that was it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay. See the, yeah, the next item, we'll have Mr. Castilleja. Bogus Ford, and any other, and you go ahead. Any other dealership in the county, we encourage them, according with the state, that if they're processing a lot of a lot of title transfers, if they want to go on the web dealer. So this presentation is going to be that Bogus Ford is going to be doing that. So instead of bringing us a pile of 100 or 200 applications for title transfers, they're going to do it online, which is faster for us. And that. So go ahead.
It's just the agenda item that I have today, 11B, Santos Castilleja, by the way. Good afternoon, judges, commissioners. Discussion and approval to execute the dealer deputy agreement between the County of Hidalgo and Bogus Motor Sales 2 LLC, doing business as Bogus Ford, GDN number P118702, and doing business as Bogus Ford Pre-Owned, GDN number P150601. The dealer desires to act as an agent of the tax assessor collector in the issuance of motor vehicle registration stickers, license plates, and in the application for vehicle titles. This agreement is subject to the dealer deputy providing a surety bond in the amount as determined by the county assessor collector in accordance with applicable law.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
We're going to go to item 21A.
Good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners, Santa Cruz, Department of Budget and Management. Item 21A is discussion, consideration, and approval of resolution authorizing publication of the county's notice of intent to issue with respect to Hidalgo County Texas Certificates of Obligation Series 2021. I do have Mr. Noe Hinojosa to present the plan of finance before court takes action on the notice of intent. Mr. Hinojosa?
Good afternoon, Judge, members of the court. Noe Hinojosa, for the record, with the Hinojosa Company. With me on this Zoom call is also two of my partners, Bobby Villarreal and Isaiah Huerta. I don't know, Sergio, were you able to pass around our presentation?
No, but I can share my screen.
That'd be awesome, if you don't mind. Basically, as it is customary by this court, you have provided us, your staff has provided us with a copy of a 5-year CIP that basically encompasses this, or that includes this year, 2021, where basically, as if you could take us to page 3 real quick, Sergio. Couple more pages, right there. Okay, well, page 2 then. Basically, before we go into the CIP, as we speak on page 2, this is the sum of the various loans the county has currently outstanding. There are a total of 13 loans, as you can see on the left quadrant. Basically, the oldest bond issue or the oldest financing we have on record is a 2014 and a 2014C. The sum of all those loans as we currently stand is $354,620,000 current loan amount outstanding. On the right-hand corner at the top, you'll find the historical tax rate for the county of Hidalgo. Back in 2018, you were at 58 cents, and also 19. And in 2020, it dropped to 57.5 cents per $100 of assessed value. In fact, what Mr. Cruz just gave you earlier for purposes of your public hearing is again a repeat of the tax rate of 57.5 cents. I think what's important to note here is that the same tax rate will be used for 22, but as it pertains to the breakdown of M&O and interest and sinking fund, I believe the interest and sinking fund tax rate is going to be slightly higher than the 707 used during this fiscal year and in 2021. What's also important is your ratings. Right now, Moody's rates the county of Hidalgo at a AA2 and Standard & Poor's at a AA minus. And then the quadrant below it on page 2, you got these bars with a red line and a blue line. And basically, what we're trying to point out there for you is how the debt is currently structured, where basically payments for the county are a bit in excess of $28 million in 21, and then shy of 29 or 30 in years between 22 and 2031. One of the things that is happening this coming year, as has been pointed out, I think, is that the red line is consistent with the TAV we used in 21. But in lieu of the fact that you had an increase in property values, that red line has basically gone up in that the tax rate that will be used to retire debt is going to provide a better, more of a tax levy, giving you automatically a larger debt capacity. So when you look at the next page, on page 3, you'll see in an outline in red there is the sum of the various projects or the various needs provided by staff, where basically Precinct 1 through Precinct 4 need about $4 million for road projects, except for Precinct 1, they only note $3.7 million. Then there's a need for about $3 million of law enforcement vehicles. There's about a $10 million need for the construction of a new parking lot or structure. And then the Justice Center project to cap another $1 million in order to fund about $29.7 million in total. The notice, the agenda item that is provided to you, or that that was just read earlier, basically allows the county to sell up to $31 million if needed for this $29.7 million in needs. We don't think we're going to get over $29.7 million. I think the $29.7 million is going to be the amount that we're going to sell due to the fact that market environment today allows you to sell bonds on a premium basis. By the way, we will sell these bonds in a competitive sale. So we will receive bids whenever we're able to sell these bonds. I think is sometime in October. I'll get to that timeline in a minute. What's important to note, not only for your benefit, but also the benefit of the rating agencies, is that after this 21, we think that in 22, 23, and 24, you'll have about another $18.7 million a year of borrowing needs. This CIP does not include the probable sale or contemplated sale for a jail expansion project. We'll get into that in a minute, but I just wanted to make sure that you knew this is what we present to the rating agencies and certainly what we've been discussing at staff level. Any questions in regard to these 2 pages, Judge or Commissioners? Okay, if not, then let's proceed to the next page. So here, what we're showing you is basically the current debt portfolio and how we go about sizing for the tax rate needed. What's important for you here basically are 2 columns in this particular page. One has to do with the 3rd column from left to right, where for 2022, the tax value is estimated to be $41.8 billion from about $38.8 billion that was in 21. So that's a 7.6% increase from the previous year. As you can see there on the fourth column right after the third, the payment for 22 is expected to be about 29,590,008. As you go across on that row of the 22 row, if you sell no bonds in column B, C, and D, if you sell no bonds, not for 21 or for the next 3 or 4 years in the CIP as required, your tax rate would then drop from a 707, which is what the portion of the total tax rate that is just to pay that service, it would drop from a 707 to a 681, and then a 667 in 23, 648 in 24. So the way our debt model is basically structured is in such a fashion that it allows you to fund some improvements on an annual basis and thus not impact the tax rate. If you turn to the next page, 6, that same page now brings in 2 blue columns that are basically including the funding for the CIP needs of 2021. Your first payment will occur in 2022. And in this particular case, there are 3 columns to care about. Again, the property value growth of 7.6%, the interest rates that we're using for the 2 loans, and I say 2 loans because we may not sell all of them through COs. We may sell something for equipment through a separate obligation called PPFCO, Personal Property Contractual Obligation, and that will be for sheriff's vehicles, I understand. But the interest rates here are contemplated to be 239 or 142. We actually using rates that are about 30 basis points higher than current market conditions. So we think that the rates will be more like 209 on the big loan, the CO loan, and about 112 on the smaller loan. But as you go across the table, you'll see on the second column from right to left, that the interest rate will go from 707 to 726, which is what is being presented or has been presented to you for hearing purposes for the INS portion. What's important here is that your savings account in this particular, with this particular financing is not being affected, and thus that's where we are with this loan. Now, what the rate agencies like to hear is, okay, if this is what you're addressing for now, tell me what you intend to do in the future. So then you go to page 7 and you fill in the pink column, and those are your next 3 or 4 years of bond financings, another $58 million if needed, and how those financings will affect your tax rate. And we believe strongly that if you continue to grow in property values the way you are, the impact on tax rate will be negligible, if not even an existing impact. And thus your CIP for the future should be nothing, should be zero. If in fact that's the case, then we proceed to page 8. Today, if you approve this plan of finance, we will then publish a notice of intent to issue these obligations this Sunday at a local newspaper in accordance with state law, and we will sell the bonds sometime on October the 18th, actually more like October the 19th, where we basically will open bids on that day and announce them to the court as to what those results will be. We just did a bond sale this morning at City of Dallas for your benefit, and we had about 10 bidders. So public sales are back in very strong popularity. Any questions through this page 8? Okay, so if we go to page 9, page 10. This is if, this is again, not part of the plan of finance. This is just preparing you for what might be coming up next year in preparation for providing capacity to the county in an effort to impact the tax rate in a favorable way. We understand the county may be able to access some of the stimulus monies that were used, and you may be getting reimbursed, and it may be affecting your fund balance in a positive way. And again, your fund balance is your savings account. And if in fact we think at this point that the savings account may be affected favorably by about $13.5–14 million, if my memory serves me well, Sergio. And we were thinking that maybe a portion of those funds can be used to do what we call in our business an early payoff of current bonds. And by doing the early payoff, as is reflected on column E, which is in gray, by applying about $8,180,000, or actually more like $9,880,000, we can reduce payments in years 24 through 27, and thus giving you capacity to do a jail project. And if you turn to page 11, a jail project that is now filled in yellow, and that jail project, we just assume that if you needed about $125 million for the expansion of the current jail, that if you were to lay that debt for that particular project and having to use that cash defeasance, the impact on the tax rate will be probably 0.8 of actually more like another penny over the current 726. In fact, it could be as high as a penny and 1/10 of a penny. There are a lot of things between now and then. A lot of it has to do with property values. A lot of it has to do with interest rates. A lot of it has to do with the fact that I believe you don't have cost estimates on the jail project. But it's not uncommon, as you may know, some of you may know in the court, when making presentations to the rating agencies, they will ask us, where do we see some needs besides the CIP, and staff has shared with us that maybe your needs will be more in attempting to address the jail level population. You and I know that as we stand currently, the county pays for out-of-county inmates, and we've taken a very conservative approach. We have not taken into account those expenses that you currently use to house inmates out there in other areas in other jails outside of the county that certainly could have set this debt payment. But on the other hand, once you bring in this new facility, it will have an impact on your operating costs. So not knowing that, we took the most conservative approach in that if what you currently spend for housing inmates out of the county, and you're not having a jail that is literally 80% less than what the current size of the jail is, that you may have additional expenses on your M&O side. We would rather have those out-of-county expenses for future expenses associated with the new, larger county jail. So, and thus the impact on tax rate could be as much as penny 2. That's reflected on the difference in tax rate between the second column from right to left and the third column from right to left. And that's, again, is for planning purposes. This has nothing to do with the agenda at hand, but we just felt like we wanted to preempt you from the fact that we were trying our best to work with your staff to anticipate that concern. So with that, Mr. Cruz, anything else you'd like to add?
No, Mr. Gonza. I think you've covered all the details as far as on our upcoming CIP and potential future projects.
So what's the
Judge,
recommendation?
Commissioners, we do recommend approval of the notice of intent to issue the certificates of obligation, Series 2021.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Judge, Commissioners.
Thank you, Noah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll be back to our regular agenda item. I believe we're going to 6A.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Judge Rosalinda Cantu presenting for the District Attorney's Office. Item 6A, we have the Border Prosecution Unit Fund 1281. We're asking for approval to continue the payment of salaries for 3 assistant district attorneys, 1 investigator, and 1 administrative assistant being paid by the Border Prosecution Grant pending the award of the fiscal year 2022 grant.
Motion to approve?
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
We're taking a no action on item 6B. Item 6C, Domestic Violence Specialty Prosecutor Grant Fund 1281. We're asking for approval to continue the payment of salaries for 1 assistant district attorney currently being paid by the DVSP grant pending the award of the fiscal year 2021 grant.
Motion to approve?
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 60, the District Attorney's State Supplement Fund 1281. We're asking for approval of number 1 and number 2, approval to accept the fiscal year 2022 DA State Supplement Grant Award from the Texas Comptroller of Public Accounts Judiciary Section in the amount of $22,500, and also asking for approval of the certification of revenues as certified by the County Auditor for the fiscal year 2022 DA State Supplement Grant in the amount of $22,500 and the appropriation of the same.
Motion to approve D1 and 2?
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 6D, the DA Victim Coordinator and Liaison Grant, Fund 1281. We're asking for approval of number 1, 2, and 3, approval to accept the fiscal year 2022 Victim Coordinator and Liaison Grant Award in the amount of $45,000, effective September 1st, 2021 through August 31st, 2022, with authority for county judge as authorized official to electronically sign via DocuSign the grant contract. We're also asking for approval of the certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor for the fiscal year 2022 VCLG in the amount of $45,000 and appropriation of the same, as well as the approval to reclassify fringe benefit expenditures to the criminal DA general fund account.
Motion to approve?
Second?
E1, 2, and 3?
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
May I proceed to HIDA?
Yes.
Item 7A, fiscal year 2020, HIDA Task Force Fund 1291. We're asking for authorization and approval to accept award number G20SS0002A, supplement number 2, cooperative agreement between Hidalgo County and the Executive Office of the President Office of the National Drug Control Policy in the amount of $82,600 for the grant period of January 1st, 2020 through December 31st, 2021. We're also asking for approval of number 2, authorization for county judge as authorized official to sign grant award form and related documents, as well as number 3, authorization to pay overtime reimbursable under the grant terms and conditions. And number 4, approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor in the amount of $82,600 and appropriation of the same.
Motion to approve, 7A, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very
Thank
much. 8A, Sheriff's Office.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Captain David Friedland for Hidalgo County Sheriff, J.E. Eddie. Under 8A, Sheriff's Federal Sharing, we're requesting approval of 2021 appropriation of funds into the Sheriff's Federal Sharing U.S. Justice from the unassigned fund balance in the amount of $72,000.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
8B, discussion, consideration, and approval to appoint Thomas Pettis, student at the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, as an intern under the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office Law Enforcement internship program for the period of August 2021 to December 2021.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Under 8C, two parts. Part one, authorization and approval of interlocal cooperation contract for the continued operation of the Texas Transnational Intelligence Center between the City of McAllen Police Department, the Department of Public Safety, and the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office. Part two, authorization for Hidalgo County Sheriff Eduardo Eddie Guerra as authorized official to sign the agreement.
Motion to approve C 1 and 2.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Under Agenda 8D, in four parts. Part one, approval to declare surplus and remove county inventory list, county asset number 62091, German Shepherd, due to age after removal from Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office service. Part two, approval to transfer the ownership of K9 Officer Czar to Senior Deputy Sheriff Oscar Elizondo. Part three, authorization for Hidalgo County Judge and Hidalgo County Sheriff to sign receipt of acknowledgement. And part four, approval of affidavit agreement.
Motion to approve D 1, 2, and 3.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Under 8E, in two parts. Part one, authorization and approval to purchase one new cell phone line, addition to the county's membership participation with contract DIR TSO 3420 with AT&T. And part two, authorization and approval to activate the following cell phone plan, basic unlimited voice and data with text service for one cell phone at a monthly rate of $44.99.
Motion to approve D 1
Second.
and 2.
Have a motion second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you for your time.
Judge, Commissioners, if I may, for Constable Precinct 1, Celestino Avila. It's for Agenda Item 9A, discussion, consideration, approval to appoint Jose A. Medina as Deputy Constable at Constable Celestino Avila Jr., Constable Precinct 1, in accordance with Texas Local Government Code, Section 86.011.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And Judge, Commissioners, we do have now Chief Gerardo Zamora with Constable Larry Gallardo, Precinct 3. Chief Zamora.
Good afternoon, Judge and Commissioners. I am Deputy Chief Jerry Zamora with Larry Gallardo, Constable Precinct 3. Under item 10A, we are requesting, under 10A, 1285, we are requesting approval for the second amendment to the interlocal cooperation agreement between County of Hidalgo, Texas, acting by and through the Hidalgo County Constable Precinct 1 and Precinct 3, and Texas A&M University, Kingsville, acting by and through the Texas A&M University, Kingsville Police Department in relation to security services with authority of county judge as authorized official to execute agreement. And number two, authorization and approval to pay overtime reimbursable under the agreement, terms, and conditions.
Motion to approve 10A 1 and 2.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Under 10B, the STOP Program 1285, we are requesting approval to renew the Memorandum of Understanding between Hidalgo County and Mission CISD and La Jolla ISD for the fiscal year 2022, period of September 1st, 2021 and August 31st, 2022, in relationship to the STOP program with authority of the county judge as authorized official to execute agreements. And number two, approval of the certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor and appropriations of the same.
Motion to approve 10B 1 and 2.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, lastly, we are requesting the approval of the purchase of promotional item under public purchase to include glue sticks. This item will be used and be a part of additional items purchased by department upon Commissioners Court approval on January 19, 2021. These items together are to inform, relate progress, educate, and report information to our constituents and aspects dealing with public safety and education.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. Item
Thank
12A.
you.
11A, no?
Afternoon, Judge Commissioners. Erika Reina for the Department of Human Resources. Item 12A, I'm requesting a waiver of the following if applicable for the personnel items listed. I need action on item number 3, the budget amendment policy, personnel-related amendments.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I'm going to take items 12B and C together. Approval of the appointment of interns from UTRGV to participate in the WIC Lactation Care Center for the period of September 9th, 2021 through June 30th, 2022. And item 12C is approval to appoint Patricia Yvonne Perez, student at Baylor University, as an intern under the Hidalgo County WIC Lactation Center for the period of September 7th, 2021 through September 30th, 2021, and approval of the affiliation agreement. I recommend approval.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 12D for Precinct 3 Road and Bridge, approval of the following personnel actions effective upon Commissioners Court approval. I'm requesting to delete slot 0099, a maintenance 3, and create slot 0124, a mechanic 1. I recommend approval.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 12E for Indigent Defense, approval to create 2 temporary full-time positions effective upon Commissioners Court approval and ending December 31st, 2021. This is to create slots T008 and T009 eligibility specialists at a grade 6. I recommend approval.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 12F for the classification and compensation plan, approval of the following changes to the classified position inventory list effective upon Commissioners Court approval. Judge Commissioners, based on a review of the current market for counselor positions and the challenges that we have faced in attracting or recruiting talent for these positions, I am recommending that we regrade counselors 2s to a proposed grade of 13 and counselor 3s to a proposed grade of 15. And item F2 is approval to revise the classified position inventory list.
Motion to approve?
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Final item 12G for the District Attorney's Office, approval of the following personnel actions effective August 10th, 2021. This is to add supplemental pay to slot 0046, 0198, and A047, and this is due to the complexity of the work. These individuals work sexual assault cases, crimes against children, and also drug trafficking cases. I do recommend approval.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Have a great afternoon.
Thank you, Ms. Erica.
Thank you. Mr. Avila, Urban County.
Good afternoon, Judge Commissioners. For item 13A, 13A1, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under the Texas Local Government Code 262-.024A4 for professional services, for professional engineering services.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
For item 13A2, presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking by Commissioners Court of at least 3 engineering firms for from the county's approved pool as graded and evaluated by the City of Elsa, Urban County Program, and Hidalgo County Purchasing Department in connection and funded through the Hidalgo County Urban County Program Year 2020 Elsa Parks Recreational Facility Funds with B2Z Engineering at 95%, CSJ Group at 89.33%, and Terracon Consultants at 89.33. Would you like for me to rank them as?
Motion to approve to, as ranked.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Judge, if I could interject here, this is Marty with purchasing. In the event Urban County was not successful in bringing a negotiated agreement with the #1 ranked firm, as you can see, they have 2 firms graded the same. That would probably require a reconsideration of the other 2 firms if they wish to cease negotiation and go into another, because you can't have a tie. I'd just like to make that note for the record.
Should we go ahead and decide now, or?
Are you recommending that they do that now or bring that back?
No, in the event
No, okay.
they cannot
All right, got it.
successfully negotiate a contract with number one.
Got it. Okay. Item A3.
Authority to negotiate a professional engineering service contract with the number one ranked firm of B2Z for the provision of the engineering services for an Irving County program year 2020 Elsa Parks Recreational Facility.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
For item 13B1, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under the Texas Local Government Code 262.024A4 for professional engineering services.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And for item 13B2, presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking by Commissioners Court of at least 3 engineering firms from the county's approved pool as graded and evaluated by the City of Donna, Irving County Program, and the Hidalgo County Purchasing Department in connection with the funded through Hidalgo County Irving County Programs Year 2020 Donna Street Improvements Project funds, with Sames Engineering at 98%, B2Z at 94.33%, and Javier Hinojosa Engineering at 90.67. Would you like for me to rank them as ranked?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to approve as ranked. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And for item 13B3, authority to negotiate a professional engineering service contract with the number one ranked firm of Sames Engineering for the provision of engineering service for an Irving County Program Year 2020 Donna Street Improvements Project.
Motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Ivaldo,
Thank
do we
you,
need to go to the
Commissioner.
workshop?
No, sir, we still have about 3 minutes before 3:30, Judge.
But do I go to the workshop at 3:30?
Yes, my apologies, I didn't understand the question. Yes, sir. When we get to 3:30, please recess court, open the workshop, and then recess the workshop and come back
Okay,
to.
we can take one more then.
Yes.
Eddie, 14A?
Roger that, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Eddie Olivares, Hidalgo County Health and Human Services. On number 14A, discussion, consideration, and action on the following. In accordance to Hidalgo County Civil Service Commission rules, requesting approval of mileage reimbursement and the payout of extra hours related to the 6th annual No Refusal Weekend project, coordinated between Hidalgo County District Attorney's Office and Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office during the Labor Day weekend for Health and Human Service staff at a rate of time and a half in addition to the employee's regular hours and or leave taken. This is for our annual no refusal weekend, sir. We always work this on Labor Day weekend to discourage GWIs in our community.
Motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
We continue. Item B, sir, is requested approval to accept COVID-19 Health Disparities Grant Contract Number HHS 0010576000025 from the county judge to e-sign and contract and related documents. And then 2 is requesting approval of certification of revenue by the county auditor in the amount of $500,000 in appropriations of the same.
Motion to approve B1 and 2?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I have a motion to recess our
Motion made?
Commissioners Court meeting. We have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I'll wait a few seconds here to reconvene the Commissioners Court meeting.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Eddie, you're back. 14C.
My item C, sir, with 2 parts, requesting approval to accept the ELC COVID grant contract number HHS 0008127000025, amendment number 1, and for the county judge to e-sign in the contract. Part 2 is requesting approval of the certification of revenue as certified by the county auditor in the amount of $448,484 and appropriation of the same.
So moved. Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item D, sir, is requesting approval to accept the COVID-19 Public Health Expansion Workforce Grant, HHS 001077100001, for the county judge to e-sign the contract and related documents. And 2 is requesting approval of certification of revenue as certified by the county auditor in the amount of $2 million in appropriation of the same.
Motion to approve D1 and 2.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Move on to item E, sir, is Healthcare Funding District. Item 1, discussion and consideration of approval to draw down funds for demonstration year 10 UC final payment in the amount to be determined by Health and Human Services
Olivares.
Commission instructions.
Mr. Olivares.
Yes.
Mr. Olivares, I'm going to
This
ask.
item we're going to
Right,
take
I'm
later
going
on
to
the
ask that
agenda.
we delay action on this till further down the agenda. So if we
Very
could-
good.
So if you can go to your next items, please.
So can I proceed to item F then for indigent healthcare program?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Item F is F1A, discussion and consideration, discussion and approval to set the county indigent healthcare program level 2 Hidalgo Blue federal poverty guidance level at 150% for fiscal year 9/1/2021 through 8/31/2022. This is our outpatient indigent care program that's funded through general fund, and it's allocated through our budgetary action, sir.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B is discussion approval of basic optional services for fiscal year September 1st, 2021 through August 31st, 2002.
So move.
And
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
item C is discussion approval of funding for County Indigent Health Program Level 2 Hidalgo Blue as indicated.
So move. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item F2 in 2 parts is A, discussion and approval to set the County Indigent Healthcare Program Federal Poverty Guideline at 40% for fiscal year 9/1/21 through 8/31/2022. This is our regular indigent care program, and it's at the same level, sir, 40%.
So move. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B is discussion and approval of basic optional services for fiscal year 9/1/2021 through 8/31/2022.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And I will stand by for the other item when indicated, sir.
Thank you, Eddie. Item 15A.
Yes, Head Start, good afternoon. We're requesting approval for the proposed professional services contract with Laura Nasri Warren, President of the Warren Group Architects, Inc., for the design and development of the Hidalgo County Head Start Program Outdoor Learning Environments and Discovery Classrooms project. We have met several times to review the contract, and we have also had legal counsel be a part of the process. I've gotten assistance from the purchasing department, and we feel we're ready to recommend approval. The policy council did approve the contract. There was one change after legal counsel from the county reviewed, and that had to do with, I believe it was arbitration, and that was left out as requested.
So
The
move.
contract shows the different, it shows the responsibilities, of course, but at the end, it shows the changes made to the contract. This is an AIA contract. And it also has the different components, of course, that are going to be the responsibility of the architect. On page 1, you see where the construction cost for the project is going to be, the construction, the cost of the proposal is for 4% of the construction cost. Got a little mixed up there. And we do have the basic services and going on with developing schematics, the design, the construction, the
Ms.
procurement
Flores,
process.
second. Ms. Flores.
Construction
Ms.
phase.
Flores. We're good. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Well, thank you very much.
We do have, the next item is the discussion and approval for the area distribution for program year 2021, 2022. This is a requirement of the program. It divides the county into 6 areas, and from each area is represented as parent representation in our policy council is derived, and it's also a way of dealing with different kinds of services to the children. And so we're asking for approval for the distribution for the program year 2021, 2022.
Do you have a motion and second to approve? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, Ms. Flores.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ms. Ramon, elections.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Judge and Commissioners. Yvonne Ramon with the Elections Administration. Item 16A, just so that you know, the funding provided for this purchase is actually from the Secretary of State's office, generated through our Chapter 19 and funded through all of the registrations that are submitted to the Secretary of State's office and certified by them. So item 16A is pursuant to Texas Constitution, Article 3, Section 52, requesting approval to purchase promotional items under public purpose to include but not limited to stand phone holders, cleaning cloths, stylus pens, plastic hand fans, keychains, pens, pad board folders, tumblers, totes, pop sockets, stickers by the roll, lanyards, wrist lanyards, drawstick, string, sport bags, magnets, journals, notebooks, pencils, pins, banners, plastic bags, backpacks, pouches, informational booklets, pamphlets, brochures, and mugs.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
17A.
Hi, good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Andrea Valdez from Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service. For item number 17, I'm here to introduce Dr. Ruben Saldana. He is our District Extension Administrator, and he will present this item.
Good morning, or good afternoon, Judge, Commissioners. Thank you for your time. I just wanted to present Catarina Rodriguez as our recommendation to the court to fill the Hidalgo County Extension Agent position for 4-H and Youth Development. That effective date would be September 15, 2021. And at the county match that's indicated in the backup of this item, Kathy is a native of Mission? Weslaco. Oh no, yeah, that's right, you're from Weslaco. She's a native here of Hidalgo County in Weslaco and has been an agent with us in Brooks County for a couple of years now, and would like to move a little closer to home. So we'll welcome her here, and we welcome any questions you may have of her or of me.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Have a motion and second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Welcome, Catalina.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioners.
Item
Thank you.
18A.
Mr. Ivaldo.
TJ?
Good afternoon, Judge Commissioners. TJ Arredondo with the Planning Department. We have 3 items up for preliminary approval. First item, 18-1A Espino subdivision is a 1 multifamily lot subdivision in Precinct 1. 18-1B Bella Woods Phase 3 is a 50-lot subdivision in Precinct 4. And 18-1C Santa Cruz Ranches Number 4 is a 198-lot subdivision in Precinct 4. We recommend preliminary approval for all 3 subdivisions.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next 2 items are up for final approval with a financial guarantee. Item 18-2A Crane subdivision is a 1-lot subdivision in Precinct 4. They are requesting final approval with a cash deposit of $1,500 for 1 OSSF. And item 18-2B Awasa Springs is a 15-lot subdivision in Precinct 2. They are requesting final approval with a cash deposit of $22,500 for 15 OSSFs. Recommend final approval with a financial guarantee for both.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Finally, the last 3 subdivisions are up for final approval. Item 18-3A Blanquita Estates Number 2 is a 42-lot subdivision in Precinct 1. Item 18-3B Ingle Springs is a 98-lot subdivision in Precinct 4. And item 18-3C Matermi subdivision is a 34-lot subdivision in Precinct 3. We recommend final approval for all 3 subdivisions.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Cantu.
Thank you.
Approval of a memorandum of understanding between, I think we're going to,
You're doing the.
doing that one and
first
postponing the
one.
second?
Right.
Okay. Sorry, approval of memorandum of understanding between Hidalgo County Precinct 2 and Region 1 Education Service Center, Office of Adult Education. And 2, approval of Hidalgo County Precinct 2 County Commissioner Eduardo Eddie Cantu to sign the memorandum of understanding.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And we're going to take no action on 19B.
Okay,
28,
28.
approval of interlocal cooperation agreement between the city of Peñitas and Hidalgo County for the Liberty Boulevard Project Phase 1 from US 83 to Mile 3, CSJ 0921-02194, RCJ number 0921-02372. Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Requesting approval to name a private road located approximately 1,000 feet east of North Trosper Road and approximately 680 feet south of Mile 4 Road as La Escondida SR.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 21B.
Afternoon again, Judge Commissioners. Item 21B, 1 and 2 is approval to accept the grant award from the RGV Partnership Foundation in the amount of $65,000 in order to assist in emergency response efforts due to the 2021 winter freeze event, with authority for the county judge as authorized official to execute the grant documents, as well as the approval of the certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor in the amount of $65,000.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 21C, 1 and 2, discussion, consideration, and approval to enter into the statewide automated victim notification service contract for fiscal year 22 between Hidalgo County and the Office of the Attorney General, with authorization for the county judge as authorized official to execute the agreement electronically, as well as the approval of the certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor in the amount of $30,143.66 and the appropriation of the same.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 21D, 1 and 2, is approval to enter into the interlocal cooperation agreement between Hidalgo County and the Hidalgo County Community Service and Corrections Department for fiscal year 2022 in relation to the drug court and the alternative incarceration program, with authority for the county judge as authorized official to execute the agreement, as well as the approval of the interfund transfer.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 21E is authorization to submit the EDC program application and affidavit for the FM 2220 road project, CSJ number 209401062, with authority for the county judge to sign all required documentations.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 21F is approval of the 2021 interfund transfer from the Precinct 4 sanitation account to the Carmen Avila Sidewalk Fund 1301 in the amount of $3,500.
Motion to approve.
Recommend.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And finally, item 21G is requesting approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor in the amount of $201,718.02 from the drainage improvement project reimbursements and appropriation and interfund of the same.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners.
Thank you very much, Ms. Marty.
Yes, good afternoon. Item 22A1, A1, acceptance and approval of to execute Amendment 1 between Hidalgo County and Telepro Communications for the procurement and installation of AV court technology and other items for the new Hidalgo County Courthouse project. We recommend approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 2 is item 2A and B, requesting approval to declare the items listed in Exhibit A as surplus for the purpose of sale through our auction scheduled for 9/16/21 in accordance with the government code listed, and requesting authority to advertise the auction or re-advertise if necessary.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next is acceptance and approval to execute Amendment 1 between Hidalgo County and GrafTech Incorporated for the procurement and installation of signage and other items for the courthouse project. Recommend approval.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 4A is requesting action to nominate at least 3 engineering firms for Hidalgo County's approval from the approved pool of engineers for the purpose of evaluating in connection with the Metropolitan Planning Organization, Technical Advisory Committee, and MPO Policy Board. We have 4 lines there, but 3 is the minimum. And attached for your review is the list of the 42, I believe, firms. Not all of them. They all have areas of specialization, as you will note on the list. Can I have the nominations, please?
Who served on the technical before?
LNG.
LNG.
Yeah.
Nominate LNG.
Did I hear LNG?
Yes.
Thank you.
B to Z Engineering.
B to Z
Sames?
and Thames. Any other one?
That's all we need, right?
That's all you need? Yes.
Minimum.
She wants one more, no?
Okay.
3 minimum, but you can do 4.
Oh, I see.
I'll nominate GDJ,
DBJ?
G.
DJ.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you. If I could have action on those, just approve.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Now, on the next item, I put it on, I know how busy all of your chiefs and staff are, but I wanted to know if you wanted to designate a deadline for us to instruct whoever, the evaluating committee. First of all, we're gonna appoint them, and secondly, a deadline so we can make sure that we get them back.
Sure, always do that. You want a deadline too, Friday?
Well, we haven't gotten the list out. I need the list. No, it could be before the next Commissioner's Court.
Okay.
That's September 7th, I believe.
So what is it that you want, Marty? My
I
chief's
need the
gonna be-
list of your evaluators. And if the court wishes to impose a deadline by which they need to return their evaluation. So will it be all the chiefs?
Belinda
so
Reyes.
I'm going to use my chief.
Me too.
For what is this?
To rank
Chief
those
evaluator.
engineering firms we
Okay.
just mentioned.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Your
use my
chief.
chief too.
And I
Okay.
recommend that it be
Judge?
done in a time that it gets on the agenda for the next
Same thing, Marty.
week.
Okay. All right. And so we will impose a deadline prior to the next Commissioners Court meeting.
Well, with enough time to put it on the meeting with the ranking.
Exactly. Yes.
Make a motion to approve?
We're flexible, but we would like to have some kind of a deadline.
Second?
I have a motion and a second for approval. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, your next item is requesting acceptance and approval of professional service agreement with ERO Architects under their on-call agreement for the expansion feasibility study at the Hidalgo County Adult Detention Facility, which is the county jail, with authority to issue notice to proceed.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B is Health and Human Services requesting authority to purchase influenza vaccines and pre-filled syringes in the amount not to exceed $93,111.75 through the county's membership with MMCAP Cooperative under Sanofi Pasteur contract.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
For C, Precinct 1, requesting approval of an on-call professional service agreement with Quintanilla Headley and Associates for surveying projects located in Precinct 1.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
1, Precinct 3A, requesting exemption from competitive bidding procurement requirements pursuant to Texas Local Government Code 262, 024A7A. That's an item that can be obtained only from one spring.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B, acceptance and approval of the sole source declaration based on the caption above and in herein for Air Burners Incorporated, including authority to purchase an above-ground air burner incinerator in the amount of $187,287.66, FOB included, under its requisition as posted, to facilitate and mitigate the influx of tree debris collected in Precinct 1. I want to make a note that we do have written commitment by the company to hold this price that I just announced to the court. However, this afternoon, after Commissioner's Court began, they made a phone call saying that steel prices are so volatile that they may need to increase that price. I will try my best to keep them to the commitment they made in writing to hold that price. But I do want to make that announcement to the court. Could I have action on B?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item E for the Constable Precinct 5, requesting approval to purchase 2 Chevy Tahoe double cab special service models 4x4 through Goodbye Co-op, the awarded vendor being Lake Country Chevrolet, in the amount of $73,408.50.
So move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
F1 is for Community Service Agency. This is requesting authority to advertise and approval of procurement packet as attached here to for Community Service Agency lease of office space in Edinburgh that is currently in Edinburgh, including the re-advertisement if necessary.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item G is countywide, requesting approval to award Type D hot mix limestone to both Frontera Materials and Upper Valley Materials on an as-needed basis, countywide.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
That is all I have. You all have a great afternoon.
Thank you, you as
Thank you,
well.
Ms. Marty.
Judge Commissioners, if I may, item 23A, 2 and 3, there'll be no action today. Let me take item 23B. There is no action to be taken today as well. Item 23C, I'm requesting approval of a commercial contract for the purchase of property located at 2015 West Jackson Creek Avenue, Edinburgh, with authority for county treasurer to issue earnest money check to Valley Land Title in the amount of $5,000 after review and auditing procedures are completed by the county auditor, as well as the authority for county judge and/or executive officer to execute the closing and all other documents related to the purchase. And lastly, authority for county treasurer to issue checks for property purchased via wire transfer or check after review and auditing procedures are completed by our county auditor.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Judge Commissioners, I'm going to ask Mr. Oscar Garcia from Jacobs to give the court an update. Item 23A, new courthouse project update.
We have executive session?
Yes, sir.
We have one item and some
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Just want to provide our monthly update. Thank you, Commissioner Cantu. Just quickly, just want to provide an update on the ongoing roofing system. We've actually had an assessment that was done that we had talked about the previous month with the warrantor, in this case Firestone, our Jacobs commissioning group, and Jacobs. All the areas combined, they identified almost 30,000 square feet of area that need to be replaced on the 8th floor. And so that, in the process of procuring new materials to be able to place that and put that forth.
How many
So,
square feet?
30,000 square feet.
So they're gonna have to
So-
remove all the urethane or the polyurethane?
The TPO and the dense board that goes underneath it that's
How big is
attached.
the roof?
Quite large. So
It's 30, wow.
So it's combined between, and you'll see it in your sheet, it's combined between level 8 and the great roof on the level 4, right? So it's just, a small portion. The deal is really getting that material procured because lead times are what they are right now with material. And so we've already, we moved forward with that process and got that material, are working with Morganti to get that material procured so they can move forward with that. But in the meantime, and we're talking about everything from, as you all know, coordination issues between other trades that are on top of that TPO as it's installed. So everywhere where there's equipment, that area is good. It's just where there was traffic and little cuts and whatnot, and so that was deemed unsatisfactory. So those areas are going to be replaced as we go through. They've also made some great progress around the parapets, and that has actually been closed up, so the building's in a safe environment. So that made some leaps and bounds progress on that front. So,
When will that start and how long will it take?
well, once the material is procured, so that's where we're right now. We're waiting on, we should get a report from Morganti tomorrow as to the lead time on
How long will it
material.
take once you have the material?
Once they get it in, it'd probably take a couple of weeks to get it all installed. So it shouldn't
Really?
take too long.
That
Yeah.
quick?
Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. With regards to the microbial assessment, we're going to do a final walkthrough with Morganti tomorrow, Jacobs is, and checks on some areas, and then we're going to bring Terracon back out to do a final assessment and close the loop on that microbial assessment. With regards to, so as you're prioritizing the completion of the building, life safety is a big piece right now, so we've been working with the fire department and the fire marshals on both the city of Edinburgh as well as Hidalgo County, trying to coordinate efforts on that front to be able to make sure that we got the fire pump all set up and everything ready to go, and making sure that all the life safety and fire safety items are addressed. On the commissioning front, we have continued equipment startup and training going on. We have our pre-functional checklist by the subcontractor is about 30% complete. The FPTs are at about 40% complete, and the development of the functional performance test documents are completed. With regards to activation and move management, we have ongoing coordination of the FF&E deliveries. Right now, we're going the process of taking delivery of equipment and furniture and the like, and readying as punch is in preparation of punch. So we're ready to then begin move-in. Coordination with HDR and other key users to identify and address any workflow issues. So we've been meeting with the key users to identify gaps between both construction, FF&E, to identify any holes that there may be to be able to address those and move forward with them. And then coordinating the move-in schedule with those groups. With regards to Morganti, like I said, they've been working on, they're making some decent progress in preparation for punch from levels 1 through 4. So the last time that you all made it out to the site versus now, you guys get in there, they have tile going in, they have elevators starting to be completed out. So it's a very vastly different building in completion as probably the last time that you guys have been out there. So it's moving along quickly. With regards to future activities, like I said, they're preparing for punch on levels 3 through 5. All the ongoing commissioning and everything is continuing along that effort as well. We're having biweekly meetings to ensure that those are on track. And then as you can still see around, we had some grading happening out there today. So you still see some continued site work and exterior work happening right now. Any questions? Go to the, Mr. Getter.
No, sir.
Okay, thank you all very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Judge Commissioners, I'm going to recommend we go into closed session.
Pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, Sections 551.071, 072, 074, and 087. Can I get a motion to go into closed session?
Motion made.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Okay, we're back from closed session. We do have some action items to take. Do you want to go to the closed session item first?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge. So under open session, item 27A, real estate acquisition appropriation for same, there's no action to be taken. 27B, pending and or potential litigation, no action to be taken. 27C, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding response to public health emergency. Judge Commissioners, I will refer to item 24 in a minute or so. Item 27D, claim of Irvin Gonzalez. Judge Commissioners, I'd like Settlement Authority to make an offer in the amount of $8,882.79.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Judge Commissioners, for the record, item 26A and 26B, there is no action to be taken this week. If I may go back to item 24, discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding A, kind of response to disaster health emergency. 1, CARES Act and American Rescue Plan Act funds. There is no specific action to be taken this week. 24B, measures necessary to preserve public health and safety. Again, there is no specific action to be taken. 24C, direction regarding county government operations, including but not limited to essential functions. Judge Commissioners, as we have been doing for quite some time, we are continuing to follow CDC recommended guidelines. We encourage all residents who do business with the County of Hidalgo to wear masks. And as we do with our employees, again, we are following the guidelines, hand sanitizing, social distancing. Again, the health and safety of our residents while doing business with the County of Hidalgo is first and foremost, as well as the health and safety of our employees providing that service. And so, Judge Commissioners, I will ask that you go back to item 14E, if I'm not mistaken.
E1.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Olivares?
Yes, Judge, item E1 under Health Care Funding District. There's 3 parts to this. A is discussion and consideration and approval to draw down funds for demonstration year 10 UC or uncompensated final payment in the amount to be determined by Health and Human Services Commission instructions from the Local Provider Participation Fund or LPPF and the general fund with a transfer date of September 7th, 2021 and a settlement date of 09/08/21. Sir, I want to make it extremely clear for the record, these are 2 separate funds. One is the LPPF fund, which is separate, and then the general fund, which is totally separate as well. These are 2 different funding sources, sir. Questions on that item, sir, from anyone?
Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item B is approval certification of revenue as certified by county auditor from the LPPF in the amount determined by Health and Human Services Commission. They will give those instructions to our county auditor and our budget office in the days to come, sir.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Judge Commissioners, for the, I'm sorry.
Go
Mr.
ahead, Eddie. Go ahead. You got one more.
Item C, approval appropriations of funds from the LPPF in the amount to be determined by Health and Human Services Commission and final instructions in the days to come, sir.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. There are no further action from my part, sir.
Thank you.
Judge Commissioners, for the record, there is no action on item 28 and no action on item 29.
I have a motion to adjourn.
Motion made?
Second?
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. One